What is up? This is Andy coming to you just before these Sunday games kick off. I'm about to watch New Orleans, Tennessee to see how I could possibly get screwed out of that Jamal Williams over 1.5 catches. There's really only one way, and that's an absolutely early injury. I saw last night that Kendre Miller's not even out. They're bringing the ghost of Tony Jones Jr. on there to back up Jamal Williams. So with captain checkdowns, I gotta see how this wouldn't happen. My guess is it did happen, and my guess it happens on the first drive. Hopefully it did. If it didn't, man, that's part of the reasons I got to make this before that, because the level of shame and dejection that you'd see from me if I made this video tonight would not be good. I wear my heart on my sleeves, and I wear my bets on my balls. So let me tell you about this Monday night game. I got a couple picks for it. I will tell you that if this was a couple weeks back, couple months back, this would be a 10-second video. I'd say you got a home dog, division matchup, getting more than a field goal. What are you doing? You don't have to think about this. You know this already. You see a division matchup, two teams who are supposed to be take getting more than 3.5 points. But I think it's been either bet or whatever has moved it down to 2.5. Now that makes things a little bit trickier. That's a little bit tougher because obviously the Bills can win this game by 2.5. But the Jets, they got that Hard Knocks bump. When you're on Hard Knocks, everybody likes you, everybody drafts you in fantasy, and usually by week 4 or 5, we know who you really are. But this is kind of a different case. If you think about when Tom Brady went to the Bucs, they were pretty bad in the first. They were like 500 almost halfway through the season. They had that embarrassing Thursday night game where they lost against Nick Foles and the Bears. Tom Brady didn't know what down it was. What ended up happening? They ended up winning the Super Bowl because they got their act together late in the season. Can you see something like that with this Jets team later in the year? The bad offensive line, stuff like that. Who knows? Time will tell. But this should be a very good game. I got a couple of picks that I like even outside of that spread. I think you guys know what I'm going to do with the spread. But the first thing you should do is go to Caesars and take advantage of that promotion that I told you about. But they got a promotion. You put in $50 if you're a new user. Then they give you $50 this week, $50 next week, $50 the week after that, $50 every week to try to help the people who gamble too much. And if you do have a gambling problem, by the way, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But if you're one of those people who, if you have $250 in your account, it's always going to be bet right away, then this is a great promotion for you. $50 every single week. Thin deli slices, I call them. Mortadella, ham, provolone, 2% cheese, whatever you want. You want that boar's head Genoa salami? You got that too. $50 every single week over on Caesars. So for this Jets-Bills game, I'm going to tell you the first bet that I like, and that is the over on Gabe Davis receiving yards. I was somebody who was low on Gabe Davis last year. I thought, the hype had gone too far because he had a good couple of playoff games. Last year, he underwhelmed. Remember when I told you last video, I said one of my favorite things in the world is when the fantasy community comes together on someone and that person immensely disappoints, and then all those people don't have to actually stand up and have tomatoes thrown at them for leading people off the cliff. Well, Gabe Davis was one of those last year. Gabe Davis and A.J. Dillon are two people that I hated going into last year. And I love going into this year. Different scenarios, different reasons. But last year, if you think about it, Josh Allen, apparently he was playing through a nagging elbow injury, and he tried to play through it because that 1 seed was so important because they didn't want to go back to Kansas City. So you saw him kind of diminish as the year was going on, definitely throw more interceptions. And Gabe Davis was playing through a high ankle sprain like most of the year, and you didn't get his best. But I think late in the year, he started to kind of creep through a little bit. And when you think about having Stephon Diggs on the other side being blanketed by Sauce Gardner, I know the Jets have a great defense, but the slightly better matchups will go to Gabe Davis, and Gabe Davis usually has a couple deep shots taken at him every game. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Scanling at all. I think he's way better, but I'm just saying when he is making catches, they are of the Scanling variety many times where he's running multiple deep routes, and really sometimes all it takes is one with Gabe Davis. So I do like that over on receiving yards for Gabe Davis. Last year, as the season went on, Josh Allen was winging it and throwing more interceptions. I think one of the theories out there is that the reason Daniel Jones looked so good and his completion percentage way up and his decision-making was a lot better is because of Brian Daboll. Daboll was taken away from Josh Allen all of a sudden, as they got further removed from Daboll being there, the interceptions started to creep up, and especially later in the year, and definitely like in that playoff game, almost threw the game away against the Dolphins, and then they ended up losing to Cincinnati. So I'm going to take Josh Allen to throw an interception. The real question is, were those issues more tied to the elbow injury that he was playing throughout the course of the season, or is he kind of veering back towards the original Josh Allen? Kind of questionable decision-making, balls bigger than his eyes. You know how they say, like, your eyes were bigger than your stomach? Well, maybe his balls are bigger than his eyes. That's definitely not a real saying, but you know you get those every once in a while here on this little show that we got going on here. So I'll take the over half of an interception on Josh Allen. A lot of that goes into my pick for the game. On Thursday, I said one of the reasons I'd be scared to bet against the Lions is just the way they ended the season. A lot of confidence beating Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, ending his career, and then going into that opening Thursday night football game. The Bills, on the other hand, what a plummet into the offseason. Almost threw away a playoff game to like a double backup quarterback at home against Miami. And then they just got absolutely steamrolled by Cincinnati. And then if you rewind the clock to that Monday Night Football that didn't finish because of the, unfortunately awful incident with Hamlin, they were getting steamrolled in that game too, albeit it was only like a quarter into the game. So I didn't like the way they were trending into the offseason. Then Stephon Diggs, not happy, that whole mess. A lot of mess going on over there in Buffalo. So if I have to take a side, you pick one of your three favorite spreads here. Okay, yes, if I have to just pick by the spread, I'll take the Jets plus 2.5. You know I hate that number, guys. I would rather take, obviously, plus 3.5, but rather than take plus 2.5, I'd rather take minus 2.5. Because in my opinion, these division games, they always come down to a late field goal at the end. So either go ahead and take the Jets minus 2.5, or, and I know some games just end by 1, but I'm just saying that's kind of how I like to do it. Take them plus 3.5, throw the Gabe Davis yards on there, same game parlay, Caesars, and you're well into plus money for that. And that's kind of what I got for you. I'm not messing with the running back touches. I know they say, Breece Hall going to be eased in. Dalvin Cook's going to get a ton of work. Well, Dalvin Cook didn't really practice most of the preseason, or didn't play in the preseason, didn't practice most of training camp. Late signing. Is he in shape? I'm not messing with any of that. What's the split going to be between James Cook and Damian Harris? They try to make you think. Don't let the fantasy analysts skew you into thinking James Cook is just going to be a 3-down workhorse. You do not know that to be the case at all, especially when Damian Harris, as a member of the Patriots, has run all over those Bills. I think they know how useful he can be as a weapon in that offense. So that's what I got for you. I got the over on Gabe Davis receiving yards. I got Josh Allen to throw a pick, and give me the Jets preferably at plus 3.5. Want, combine that with those Gabe Davis over on receiving yards. That's what I got for you on this Monday night. I'll be back with you before Thursday Night Football. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Make sure you're subscribed to the Odd Shopper channel here. And make sure you check out the new show I'm hosting here on the Odd Shopper channel. For now, we're going to call it Francis and Friends. It airs on Fridays. I bring in some of the guys from Odd Shopper. I make them reveal some of those Odd Shop premium picks. You know those ones when you go to the site and they're all grayed out? I make them tell me some of their favorite ones, and obviously try to entertain you along the way. So make sure you check that out on Fridays, and I will see you guys then. Take it easy. As Marco from Chipotle once said, good luck.